G'day, it's mid-afternoon and I thought I'd take a drive up to the hills to see whether the water was still running on Lesmurdie Falls. So let's see how we go. Around Perth we don't have many waterfalls that have water falling through them all year round. In fact, most of I think all of the waterfalls in Western Australia just have water in them during winter or the wet season. There might be a waterfall or two up north that have water all year round up in the Kimberleys. Certainly around Perth we haven't got too many waterfalls, but I'm hoping with the late rain that we've had this winter that we might actually get some water still falling at Lesmurdie Falls, which is where we are today. The fact that this creek has still got running water going down it, this is Lesmurdie Brook, is a good sign. It's a really good sign. So can't wait to get up to the falls, which is probably only another 100 metres up this track, and we'll see whether we've got water. Just caught my first glimpse of the falls, and there is water falling, which is just excellent news. Birds are singing as well, so they're happy. So I've made it down to the foot of Lesmurdie Falls. It's a beautiful location, I'll tell you what, and we're very lucky because we've got a little bit of cloud cover that's just taking the sting off the sun. Having said that, I can just feel a little bit of rain, so hopefully that'll hold off. It's not too windy, so therefore I'm not getting too much spray from the water that's falling, which is excellent. So let's go through my setup. So as you can see, I've got the camera in portrait mode. I've got the polarizer on the front. The purpose of the polarizer is to take the glare off the wet rocks. You may also be able to pick up that I've got the 0.3 soft graduated filter at the front there. And that's just to take a little bit of light out of the sky, just at the top of the waterfall. With that filter and that polarizer at the front of my 24 to 70 lens, my settings are f11. My shutter speed is 1/10 of a second, which probably isn't enough. I've got two choices. I can decrease the aperture to an f-stop. At the moment the f-stop's 11. I could probably go to 13, 14, up to probably about 16, and then that's around about the limit. Much more than that and the image starts to soften. My other choice is to put a filter on the front. Either go with a soft graduated filter and push it down like a 0.9 and push it down over the image so the light generally across the image is lower, I could even break out the little stopper. So I might go and try a couple of those alternatives and see what I can get. So I just want to quickly take you through my composition of what I'm trying to achieve here. The main part of the image is obviously the falls themselves. That's going to be at the back and the centre, or the top of the image. But it's very important, I think, to have the user have their eyes led through to that focus point. And that's what leading lines are all about. It's about the viewer, I think, looking at the image and there being some sort of a journey, moving the viewer's eye around the image. It's also important to have some sort of point of interest in the foreground. That gives the image then some depth. So we've got these rocks and I've got some reeds over here. That gives some interest in the foreground. The way in which I've aligned myself so that the water that's falling over these rocks are actually falling towards the camera, which is really important, and that's providing some leading lines through the image up to my focus point, which again are the falls themselves. Okay, so you should be able to pick up from the front of the lens there that I've gone with the option of putting in a little stopper. It's always better to have filters rather than stop the aperture down too close to its maximum. Getting a couple of drops here on the front of the lens, so it's always handy to have a cloth. I bring a couple of cloths with me to make sure that my lens is absolutely clean. Trying to get water droplets off your image in post-process is a nightmare. So it's far easier to do the hard work while you're here. I've adjusted the settings a little bit, so now I've got a f-stop of 10, which I'm much happier with, and my shutter speed is 4 seconds, which I'm also happier with. As the light dies down, things are going to change. I'm going to have to adjust from there anyway. I'm just checking my histogram. I'm nearly clipping some highlights, so again I'm going to have to adjust it, maybe bring it down to 3 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds. I'll fire off a couple of shots and then I'll see which image turns out the best. Taken a shot at f9 and 4 seconds again. This one's probably not going to turn out because, as you can see, there's quite a lot of contrast between the rock that's being hit by the direct sunlight and the shadows. But hopefully the sun will go behind the cloud again. I'm playing around a little bit with composition. I'm finding the composition here quite challenging because of the way in which the water is falling across the rocks. It's quite unusual. The water's falling down the main falls here and then around this large granite rock just behind me. So it's going around the outside and then snaking in front of the rock in the foreground. And it would be great if I could climb up in one of these trees here and kind of look down on it all, but that's not a possibility. So I'm having to change up a few things. One of the things I've changed now is I've swapped out my 24 to 70mm lens for my 17 to 35 so I can capture a wider range. I've come back around and further down the brook a little bit away from the falls so I can get a different composition. What I'm going for in this composition are these small little trickles that you see just in front of me, the water falling over the rocks in the mid-ground and then still capturing the main falls in the background, and it'll be to the left, the top left of the image. I'm going to take a couple of shots. I'm on f9 and 4 seconds, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once I've taken a couple of shots from this angle, I'm going to move the camera back around more in line with the video camera to see whether I can capture a different type of image. It is fantastic having this place to myself, I've got to say. I've been here before, and the place has been flooded with 30, 40, 50 people, but other than meeting one other person here this afternoon, I've had the place to myself, so I've been really, really lucky. Don't know whether you can pick up the birds singing in the trees there, but they're having a fantastic time. Temperature is beautiful, the light is just gorgeous, and who knows if that's going to get better as the evening progresses. So I'm really low now, right down to the ground. I'm only probably half a metre above the water. Unfortunately, the sun came out from behind the clouds, and I've had to wait for about 20 minutes for the clouds to come over again, in which time I've lost quite a bit of light. So I'm having to make some pretty big adjustments given that there's not as much light available. I've moved to f10, I think I was on f9 before, but I've had to increase my shutter speed, my exposure, to 30 seconds. It's still going to give me a reasonably dark image, but I should be able to pull the detail out of that in post-process. So let's take that shot. Oh, and I've still got my polarizer on and my 0.3 soft grad. But I think after this shot, I'll take the little stopper off and just use the natural light. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that shot. What's probably going to be my last shot of the day. I've come even further back, still with a 17 to 35. I've still got the 0.9 soft grad, just taking the light out of the sky to make sure that I don't blow my highlights. I'm on f11 and 2 seconds again, so we'll take it and we'll see how we go. That's it for this video. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome, and please consider subscribing so that you're notified when I upload my next video. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. It's been incredible. And thank you also to those who have shared my videos on social media. Your support is absolutely amazing. But until next time, thanks very much for watching.